Hello, today we are going to explain 2008 first movie in the MCU, Iron Man. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie starts showing the site of the border of Afghanistan. There is also the US military. This is waiting for a man who was weapon designer. And his name was Tony. It is seen within a few time that Tony reaches there. He displays a missile to the military. He claims that it is made by us. This single missile is far too dangerous to destroy the entire country. Then it is tested there. In fact, Tony was here to make a deal with military officers. And that he might become the wealthiest as a result of this contract. He then departs from it now. Meanwhile, somebody is attempting to steal Tony's car. All military officers there try to rescue Tony. But those opponents kill the military officers. Tony gets out of his car to save himself. Nearby him is his company's atomic bomb. He is injured as a result of the unexpected explosion of a bomb. Now the time of a day before is shown, when Tony received a Best Weapon Manufacturer award. Actually, the company which he was running, his father had established it with the sharing of his friend. But the place where the award was being honored, Tony was not present there. So his award is received by someone else. Where was Tony if he was not there? He was in gambling club where that man visits who had received his award. He hands him over his award. Tony says, "Where will I save it? I have no capacity at my house." Giving that award to the people, he leaves from there. A press reporter asks Tony, arriving there, "Are you contented? The new weapons are being produced by you. And they are deadly weapons that can not only destroy the life of individual but the whole country." Tony says, "Yeah. I am contented. Because if we don't make weapons, our enemies will kill us." Afterwards, they spend some time with each other. Then Tony is told that his seats are reserved in airplane to Afghanistan. And Tony lands Afghanistan through his private airplane. Now the scene changes to the current time. Being senseless, Tony is attached to a battery. He is left shocked, coming into the senses. "Why are the batteries attached with me?" Restoring his consciousness, he asked a man standing beside him, "What is happening with me?" That man tells, "Much bomb metal pierced into your body when it exploded. These fragments were too tiny so we could not remove them out. There was only one solution to stop those fragments reaching your heart, so we are using electromagnet. You need not to be worried." The terrorist group is known to have kidnapped Tony. Then the leader of that terrorist group arrives. "Tony," he says, "do you have any idea? Why did I bring you here after your kidnapping? I liked your manufactured missile. As you know that, US military has occupied our country's border. So I want that you may manufacture the same missile for us. And I will release you as you hand me over that missile after attacking them." Tony says, "Not at all. It is your credulity." A man standing beside Tony says, "Don't act as such. You have no other option besides it. Because it is such an area where neither military nor your peers can detect you." Now who was that man? Actually, he was also the weapons manufacturer. And he has also been brought here by them. Now that man and Tony begin to plan how they may escape. Whereas, it was seeming incredible to escape, but they just wanted to struggle. That man says, "I want to move to my family." Tony tells, "I have no family except a driver and an assistant." Then they think that they will build a bulletproof suit. So we may not get any harm if we go outside and are attacked by them. And we immediately run away. That man tells Tony, "Your body electromagnet can be controlled with a battery attached to your body by me. Now it will have to be searched so we may escape, making it effective." But they needed a high-power battery for that suit. This may make that suit working. On the other side, the head is still thinking that they are perhaps building that missile for him. So he continued to provide the materials. Since he is unaware of the material properties needed to construct a missile. The news of building that suit also travels to the head as it is prepared. Being aggressive, he wounded that man who was assisting Tony to build this suit. Wearing that suit, Tony activates it properly. He also brings that electromagnet power in it. And he starts to kill all those people presented there. And wearing the same suit, he escapes from that cave. Coming outside, he destroys all weapons. And he flies through suit's rocket launcher. He falls down in a desert where his team searches him out. And it brings him at that place where they used to live. There are also Tony's father friends, who had pioneered this arms industry along with him. Tony says, "I want to be on the live stream and also want to hold a press conference." Now it is seen that Tony is communicating with the press reporters. He tells that I had been abducted by Afghans. They put a demand that I may manufacture weapons for them. I have thought that my weapons are creating the havoc. And they also want to break out the war, getting my manufactured weapons. So I don't wish it. I am closing my industry. I am not going to manufacture such weapons in case I don't close the industry. And that man who was the friend of Tony's father says to all, "No. The fact is opposite. Tony recently has reached here, rescuing himself. He is not stable. He is grieved, so talking nonsense. It is not going to be held as such." Tony leaves from there. And that man also pursues Tony. He asks Tony, "What happened? How did you escape from Afghanistan? And why had you been abducted by them?" Then Tony reveals the whole story to him. He also tells that I had built an iron suit through which I escaped. "Do you want to take a look?" That man says, "Yeah, why not?" Tony removes his shirt and shows him some part of that iron suit on his body. That man says, seeing it, "It is incredible. We should bring it before the world while working on it more. We may grow richest through it. And we may achieve much success through it." Being disagreed, Tony moves to his assistant. He tells her, "I have built an advanced arc reactor than the arc reactor fixed in my body. Replace it with that reactor." That assistant asks Tony, "What does it work?" Tony tells him that my body has a few metal pieces. It stops them reaching to my heart. It also creates more power in my body. Contrarily, group of terrorists discovers some fragments of that iron suit in the desert. They detect, uniting them, what is this in reality? And Tony is also in this struggle to build a new iron suit. He had fixed some more powerful rocket launchers in that suit, which were going to help him in flying. Now he commands to its suit electric generator to fly him higher. His suit begins to freeze due to the cold as he flies higher. And his suit system detects error. So he falls down. As he commands his suit system again, he is falling down, because it was melting the ice on it. And he takes a flight again. As he approaches the house, he modifies his suit's mechanism so that it does not defrost while going to fly higher. And his assistant has put his old arc reactor on the table, writing something on it. He gets excited, witnessing it. In the evening, Tony goes to a party. His assistant is also there. They pass time, dance and rejoice with each other. Then that press reporter reaches there who had asked some questions from him. She tells that the missile that you display in Afghanistan. Now many missiles like that are being manufactured by the country Afghanistan. I don't think it is being held under your supervision or you have asked to do as such. Tony comes in rage immediately. He thinks this is surely done by that man, who were his father's friend and that industry's investor. He directly moves to that man and asks, "It is really you who have dispatched that missile there?" He tells, "Yeah. I had to do it." Tony says, "Have you any idea that the present terrorists are killing people in a large numbering there? And you supported the same terrorists. It is not the mission of our industry." But he ignores him completely. And Tony returns to house. And he himself tries to work on it. He makes his suit more powerful. He had used the technology of every type in it. This can fire the little rockets with the other firing. Tony instantly flies to Afghanistan wearing that suit, where he battles with all terrorists including their leader. And he fires a little rocket there through his suit. Consequently, that place is ruined. That place's Air Force also knows that there has been held a great explosion. But they are unable to discover Iron Man. Then Tony calls that friend who had visited gambling club to hand him over the award. He tells him, "It is me who has exploded it all. Kindly tackle this matter." Then he is asked that, who is involved in these attacks. He says, it is possible that many enemies had attacked together. It means he keeps Tony out of suspicion. Tony's father friend is surprised, hearing it. Is someone disappeared after attacking as such? He quickly moves to Afghanistan and converses with the terrorists. Those terrorists say, "We have known who is behind the scene. But we are silent at that moment until we expose the complete reality. It is Iron Man because we have got some fragments of his suit in the desert. That terrorists say to that man, "We can reveal the suit design if you pay us." But Tony's father friend does not act upon it, even he brings the suit back, threatening them. Tony comes to know that his old suit has been stolen by someone. He says to his assistant, "Going there, I will have to stop him at any cost, as this information may not disclose and he may bring destruction everywhere, using my name." Tony's assistant moves to the office of Tony's father friend. She hacks all information from his computer. She also knows that he was the same man who had abducted Tony by those terrorists, because he did not want that Tony may have even a little share in this company. She is surprised, knowing it. She is about to leave from there that man comes there whose computer was being hacked by her. But she leaves from there, entangling him in conversation. But that man was shrewd, so he knows this girl has hacked his computer. Man appears there when she is leaving, hacking the information. He asks, "Do you know about Tony? Will you arrange my meeting with Tony for interview? I have to ask something from him." On the other side, Tony's father friend is also feeling nervous, because he had known that Tony is most powerful, and he has also known that I am responsible for all. That man has commanded some scientist to build that arc reactor fixed in Tony's body. But the surprising thing is this: the size of the reactor was biggest which was being ordered by him. But it had a time for its completion. So he moves to Tony's house in rage. He takes away the reactor from Tony's body, which was actually his heart, powering off him. Tony begins to feel feeble without it. Now he was not going to survive for a long time without this. Then he remembers that his assistant had given him an old arc reactor. He immediately covers his body with that suit, adjusting the source of power. Now Tony's father friend had left, taking that power source of Tony. He had built a great iron giant which he called Ironmonger. That man fixes that arc reactor into it, which had been taken out from Iron Man's body. Being activated, it emerges multi-powers. Within this time, the real Iron Man had also approached there. And there is tough fight between them. They come on the road while fighting. Then Iron Man remembers that this suit is not properly mended till this time. It means that it will freeze while flying higher. He instantly begins to fly high, so Ironmonger also chases him. Ironmonger suit begins to freeze as they fly higher. Being feeble, it starts to fall down. Reaching down, it is again powered up. Now it starts to attack Iron Man. Now where do they fall down? They fall on the same laboratory where this powerful arc reactor was being built. This arc reactor was being built by that man's scientists. Who was the partner of Tony's father? Now Iron Man quickly says to her assistant, "Power up this reactor. I will flee instantly." And Ironmonger will be completely affected by it, because he will be unaware that reactor is going to activate. That girl carries out the same. It releases many waves, which surround Ironmonger and causes his death. Next day, it is witnessed that Tony is in the press conference, and all are complimenting him, asking, "Are you Iron Man?" A man says to him, "Coming there, you need not to tell it. You have to say it, there was my security guard. And the fight was being held between them because of their private conflict. And your father's friend also died naturally." Then Tony goes before them, taking that note. At the same time, his friend whispers him, "Just tell what is true." Iron Man speaks before everyone, "I am Iron Man." Now everyone had known that real Iron Man is Tony. And here the movie ends.